him cook now. Let him cook. I said let him cook.
All right, man. We got to get into the most important piece. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it is that time.
And now, this world shall know pain.
It's time for Anime Fisticuffs! DLC, who do we have lined up for today?
Woo! We got a doozy going on. Where my boy Ric Flair at? Woo! We got a doozy about to go. We got a doozy. So, for this fisticuff today, we actually have from that time I got reincarnated as a slime, Rimuru Tempest, versus from Assassination Classroom, Koro Sensei, I guess would be the correct term. But oh man, like I was kind of pumped up about this one because this, you know what I'm saying, conspiracy. This is kind of a unique one. And we got like the slime versus the octopus. You know what I mean? Like we kind of got this one on a unique one. We got a slime versus the octopus, which I never thought I would see in a fisticuffs battle, but I guess today is the day. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Funny enough. You know what I'm saying? Where Pooh Bear at, man? Where Pooh Bear at?
Man, Pooh Bear. I got no idea what's happening with this dude. So, DOC, I normally take the underdog normally, but I think that the fans might want to see something interesting this time around.
So I was gonna actually suggest that Pooh Bear decide who get what. And that way, you know what I'm saying.
Okay,
I was gonna actually let Pooh Bear decide who get what because I think me and you know enough about each character. It really wouldn't matter either way it goes. So you know what I'm saying. So Pooh Bear, who gets who character? Don't matter which way you go. You got the deciding factor vote over here on who got what.
Okay. Hold on.
You know what I'm saying? Gotta, get these verbal skills ready to go. Shout out to Mid-American Christian University. Shout out to my people. You know what I'm saying? MacU, baby. Shout out to MacU.
Got my degree, baby. Let's see. Okay.
Oh, we getting a flip? Yep. All right, we getting a flip. All right.
So, conspiracy. Top is going to be slime. The bottom will be octopus. Okay. Conspiracy, you got slime. Doc, you got octopus.
Okay. So DOC, that means you going first.
I got the underdog in the fight.
I know I got the first, bro.
I know I got the underdog. All right, man. So I know I got my work because I know who I'm up against with my boy Rimuru Tempest. So I already know I got my work. But I got a surprise for you though. Conspiracy. Okay. I got a surprise for you. You know what I'm saying? All right, man. Now I want to break this down by categories. All right, I want to do this slightly differently than we typically do. You know what I'm saying? So I want to start off in the place that I'm gonna have my advantage. So that's where we're gonna start. Since I got the less OP of the characters. All right. So to me, this battle is gonna come down to two things. Okay. My character's speed and your character's adaptability. Okay. That's what this is gonna come down to. The fight is gonna boil down to those two things. Now, the reason why I believe why Koro Sensei will have the upper hand is it's going to boil down to my speed. Now, as you know, I can move. My character can move at his fastest is Mach 20. Okay.
Correct. Yes, Mach 20.
That is the fastest my character can move. Now, as far as I
Yes.
know, with everything I know about Rimuru, he can't move nowhere near that level of speed. He's fast, yes, but is he moving at Mach 20? No, he's not. He is fast though, right? So my speed is going to play a bigger factor in that, because one of the things that I know Rimuru has is, since he became a demon lord and he's dang near god level at this point, is his ultra fast regeneration. But Koro Sensei is so fast though that I can create multiple after images. Actually, when he was in the classroom, he was moving so fast that he had after images teaching each student individual work at the same time, helping them with each individual subject. He was moving so fast and doing it with every kid. So his speed is unquestionably his strongest trait. And to me, that is where I have the advantage. Now, do we both
Okay.
have regeneration abilities? Sure we do. You know what I'm saying? But I think regeneration only matters if you're not fast enough. Like if I'm not giving you enough time to heal, then you're not going to have enough time to regenerate at the level you want to. Now, that's where I would say we're going to start it off. Now, I started off with my speed. I think that's where my greatest advantage is to, the Rimuru fight is speed.
Okay.
The pure
All
when
right.
it boils down to it. My speed is my greatest advantage. Now, I'm going to flip over to you, Conspiracy. Go ahead, hit me where your strengths lie on this one. Where's your prime thing? I said it was adaptability for you is your greatest.
Okay. So let me ask you a question here.
Okay.
Would you consider, because like my whole thing with speed, I'm not like a scientist or anything like that. Like I'm not super knowledgeable when it comes to speed. Is supersonic, does that exceed Mach 20, or is that lower than Mach 20?
No, that supersonic is Mach 20 is more than supersonic. That's beyond
Okay.
supersonic. Because I think
Okay.
Mach 3 or Mach 4 is like
Yeah.
supersonic. I can
Okay.
look
Okay.
I can verify that here in just a second, but this to answer your question, so you can keep me honest and
No,
I
I
can
know
keep you honest.
Mach 4 I
Yeah.
Let me
think
see.
is supersonic.
Okay.
Yeah, so supersonic speed at Mach what? So let's see. Supersonic speed, it is for that is anything that's beyond Mach 5, because
Oh,
Mach 5 you break the sound barrier.
never mind.
Anything beyond Mach 5 breaks the sound barrier. So he moves at the fastest at Mach 20. So if we see how fast is Mach 20, I guess there it is. How fast is Mach 20? That means I'm moving at 15,345 miles per second. So he's going about, I don't know, couple times faster than the speed of sound. So there you go.
So I am not going to then go into anything in the novel, anything like that. I think we're just going to stick with what people have seen in the anime, right? About Rimuru Tempest. Is that correct?
I think, I think if you give context, if you want to go into the novel, as long as you're giving context, because people haven't read the manga, I think that works too. As long as you're gonna give context on it, because I think a
Well,
fair fight, you have to present everything.
we're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it in the anime. Then, if you want a fair fight, we're gonna leave it in the anime. If you want a chance, let's just say that we're gonna leave it in the anime. Because the reason why I say that is because so in the novel, Rimuru eventually transcends and actually becomes
Turns
a
into a
deity.
god. Yeah, he
Yeah,
becomes a god.
yeah,
I know.
right. And he becomes a god of space and time.
Now,
So we're gonna leave the novel and stuff out of this.
okay, we'll stick to the anime. Okay.
I mean, because the Mach 20 won't. That's a little irrelevant if you talk about deity in space and time. So we're gonna leave that out. I do agree with you when it comes to the speed. When it comes to adaptability, I do agree with that aspect, because when you leave out, the manga and the novel, then you're talking about, Mach 20 speed. And that was going to be one of the things that I actually brought up if I ended up getting Koro Sensei, right? Like I was actually going to bring that up. It is very, very difficult to deal with an opponent like that. The only situation that I would really find myself in is the fact that he would be so fast. Now, here's the thing though. Koro Sensei does not have infinite stamina. So even though he's moving that quickly, he does not have infinite stamina. He has really good stamina, but in order for him to actually cause damage to Rimuru, his abilities, like for instance, his energy blast is really not a real energy blast. It's more of an energy thrust than anything, and it uses up a lot of stamina. His I guess you could say like his ultimate defense uses up like over half of his stamina. Um, right. So like if he wanted to like turn into his ultimate defense and kind of like try to drop on me or something like that, right? So with Rimuru's adaptability, it would be I'm not saying that I could cancel out his speed, but with my adaptability, it would be really hard for Kuro Sensei to actually be able to hurt me enough to where he would actually give me a fatal injury to win this fight when it comes to him using his speed, when it comes to my adaptability. I'm going to say that based on the fact of some of his weaknesses, Kuro Sensei has, but we're not going to get into that yet. I'm going to go ahead and roll it back over to you, DLC.
So here's my next question for you then, since you brought that up. So when we're talking about this and we're talking, so do you believe that your regeneration is going to be able to survive his explosions at his fingertips that he can use with his tentacles, and he can cause those explosions? With the speed he has, it would be like Rimuru is getting hit from 50, 20 or 30 different angles with the explosions that he has, right? So even with your ultra regeneration, with the speed and you're getting hit, do you think he could actually survive all of that with the speed? Like you said, I mean, what do you think? Let me ask you that, right? Because I'm talking about with the explosions and everything because of the shock waves and stuff it can do. So and the other thing I also want to point out is that before Koro Sensei got changed, he was also an assassin. So, prior to him becoming who he was also assassin, so with those things in there, now I understand we're talking about a slime versus an octopus. So again, I understand, the human body is not going to be the exact same, but one guy is experienced in fighting his whole life, basically. The other guy, I mean, now, and that's my question for you. Do you think Rimuru would be able to survive with the speed and the explosion going on simultaneously, since the speed is the thing you're going to have to contend with?
Yes. And here's why I say that is the explosions are not technically strong enough to actually damage him severely because Rimuru is fast, right? But he only has to be fast enough. And the reason why I say that is because when you put together his speed with the Great Sage allows him to think 300 times quicker, right? And so because of that, he can. That's where that adaptability comes in. It right. He realized, oh, like this guy is really fast at this point. Well, with the Great Sage, that 300 times almost basically freezes time at that point, and it allows him to think. I think it's like 0.000001 of a second, basically, like is what it does. And so it allows him to really understand what's going on and actually try to come up with like an escape plan, counterattack. But also you have to remember his other ability, which is his shadow ability that allows him to, change places with the summons, actually roll into a shadow and just come from somewhere else. Things like that, right? Roll into a shadow and actually come out of another shadow. Things like that. So from that aspect, it's not just him just basically saying, okay, hey, I'm gonna stand here And because I can't really do anything with this Mach 20 speed, well, there's certain things that he can actually do, or I would say combine when it comes to the adaptability. Because here's one thing people don't understand when it comes to Koro Sensei. They see this indestructible being, right? When they actually look at Assassination Classroom. What they really don't see is that Koro Sensei actually is, as from a physical standpoint, he's actually not that strong. He's stronger than like a normal human. He can probably destroy a car, something like that. Maybe put a hole in like the side of a building. But he's not really actually strong. He's not really that strong at all. So from that standpoint, if you're talking with him just the explosions themselves, you got to remember where Rimuru healing ability actually comes from. It comes from, you know, not his regeneration. Regeneration is just one part of it. He actually can heal himself because of all of the medicinal plants and the other elements that he put inside of himself when he ingested it. So when he's getting hit, he can automatically, without the regeneration, he can heal himself. Then you got to remember this. You got to remember this is one of Koro Sensei's weaknesses, right? Is that he still has a heart. That's the crazy thing. He still has a heart and it's underneath the tie. If you remember when he told the actual kids in the classroom, right, y'all would have to shoot my heart, it's underneath my tie. Well, Rimuru actually doesn't have a heart in his slime form. Did you know that?
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, he's
So it would be really difficult for him just to be in his slime form, right? Like with all that power, it would be really difficult for those explosions to just beat him down enough. And there's more I want to say, but I'm gonna go ahead and slide it back over to you. Go ahead.
okay. So now I'm glad you brought all that up. So now, because you brought that up, so there's two things I want to talk about. Okay, the speed, his eidetic memory, because he has an eidetic memory, but also he's a genius level chemist. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So here's the other thing is that now Rimuru is from Earth, but he ain't no chemist major. I think I think that with you having a genius level intellect, now I understand Rimuru has great sage. I get that. But this guy, because he's been killing his whole life, you know, that's what he did for a living, because he understands chemistry and the chemical makeup. Now, I don't know, you know, to the effect, I mean, because he'd be fighting Rimuru and figuring it out. But I think because of the eidetic memory and him being a chemist and being able to, you know what I'm saying, understand chemical reactions along with the explosions, he has the ability to make those explosions a little bit stronger, but he also may be able to find a ability, not ability, but the ability to poison Rimuru because he's a chemistry. That's beyond even what the great sage might be able to do. Because now you're talking about hitting him with all the Mach speed. We're talking about him using his actual, you know, because we talking about a fight on the life, right? Everything's on the line here at this point. So to me, with the eidetic memory and him understanding chemistry, him understanding mechanics, programming, and things like that, I see that as a great advantage in him as somebody who's been fighting their whole life. Rimuru, you know, and I'm not no disrespect to him. He started fighting after he got his abilities, and he started getting taught by the sword teacher, you know, how to fight, you know, in an actual fight. Where this guy, this is what he's been doing all the way up to that point in time. Now, and that'd be my question for you. How do you counteract eidetic memory? How do you counteract the chemistry background? You know what I mean? And then his genius level ability to be able to deal with mechanics and programming on top of that. So while all this is going on in the fight, Mach 20 and everything like that, he's reading everything you're doing. He's memorizing every movement, right? And if you don't have the speed to keep up with that, how do you negate all of that? Back to you, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So number one, he is a genius. He's a science genius and he's an engineer genius. Now, when it comes to the engineering standpoint, unless he's going to like build an AI machine, like a sitting AI machine, which he's done before, unless he's going to be like have time to actually do that beforehand, his engineering goes out the window. If you're just talking about heads up, they're meeting and they're fighting for life, that engineering thing goes out the window unless he's already prepared something beforehand. The same thing with his, scientific knowledge, him being a chemist, unless he did something beforehand. Now, granted, I understand what you're saying because I know exactly what you're about to say. The fact that he has that Mach 20, he should be able to be fast enough to learn the ins and outs of Rimuru's, I guess you would say, his body structure,
biology,
and then quickly go and try to make something in the lab and then come back because of the Mach 20 speed. I get that. He is that fast. I understand that. But he has to find everything that he needs. And you're talking about somebody who also, who, and this is what does not get stressed enough. His great sage, as far as thought process, far outweighs Koro Sensei's thought process. Like, they don't even compare. Okay, just because he's Mach 20, his brain is not faster than the Great Sage. The way that it thinks and what it does not even compare. Yes, he moves far faster than him. His thought process doesn't come close, right? So that's one thing. And so the engineering, that goes out the window. Scientists, I understand, like, the whole Mach 20, but the thing is that, though, like, that is from a life and death standpoint, that is really difficult, because one thing is that he does not have the distance, or I should say the attack distance. Like, he really doesn't have that as far as what Rimuru has. Like, his attack distance is far better. Rimuru actually, the attack distance is actually far better. To be honest with you, from a distance battle, Rimuru actually wins that. The only thing that Koro Sensei would actually have on that would literally be the speed to just get out of the way, make his moves, and get out of the way again. Rimuru actually has far exceeds his attack range, honestly. And all it really takes, and I'm just going to be honest with you here, all it really takes is Koro Sensei getting caught one time with a physical hit from Rimuru, and it would be done. It actually would be done. Game over, 100%. It would be over. And not just from a physical standpoint, he can actually devour him as well. His devour actually does work on Koro Sensei. It actually does. It actually does work on him. It works on him. It actually does work on him. Even if he did the like that indestructible defense, he can only hold it for so long. And here's the kicker: when he's done with it, I think he has to wait like 24 hours before he's like fully, healthy again and whatnot, right? I'm not even bringing up like the other weaknesses that he has, because here's the kicker: with that range attack Rimuru has, like, you remember the little water driplets, right?
Yeah.
That net that he used to actually kill all of those humans.
Yeah.
He could literally, because of the Great Sage, right? She has the same analytical abilities. And so she could actually come up with a way to create those anti-sensei Koru beads. Because of the fusion that she's able to do, he can create something like that and use that same type of maneuver, to be honest with you, to I'm not saying it would counter the Mach 20, but that would be a very, very good net. And I think that alone right there would put Koro Sensei into a real bad spot, in my opinion. Just doing that alone right there. That's not even talking about his other weaknesses. Back to you.
All right, listen. See, you actually I feel like I'm about to hit you. Where's my trap card at? You know what I'm saying? I don't know where that's from. You know what I'm saying? You actually, you know what I'm saying? You actually activated my trap card. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because there's the one thing you haven't talked about, and this is the
I've been saving the other weaknesses, brother. Go ahead though.
When you're there, and I know this is specific. Now, tell me what Koro Sensei's body is made out of.
what his body is made out of?
Do you know what his body's made out of?
I could have sworn that they did not find out what his body was made out of.
Oh, they did.
They were
Oh,
trying to actually find out, and they thought that they did.
So here's the thing. Okay, now I'm gonna break the realistic part of this battle to you, where you would lose, because more than likely you would. Here's the reason why you're gonna lose. If you use the Devour, which he would probably, in my opinion, he would go to the Devour because it'd be the easiest way to get Coral Sensei. But the moment you try to devour him because of what his body is made out of, here's the thing. His body is made of antimatter. Okay? That's what his body is actually made out of. When they did this to him, it's actually antimatter. His mucus is antimatter. Do you know what happens with antimatter? The inside of him touches any type of biological substance?
I would assume it would corrode.
Destroys instantly. Instantly destroys. He has antimatter. He has his mucus, and he can produce it with his tentacles. So here's the one thing about that is, if you go to devour him, you're going to inevitably kill yourself, because there's no magic that's going to stop science antimatter. I'm just talking from a realistic standpoint. Because he has that antimatter in his body, you devour him, you die. Okay? Just for the same reason why he said I have to die beforehand, because an antimatter explosion would blow the whole earth up and kill everybody. Okay? Even if the explosion didn't kill you, the antimatter would kill you. So that's where I would say you're at a deficit on this one, because we ain't talking now. Yeah, if you're a god, you could probably survive that. But him as he is right there with that antimatter, that's where I would say he wouldn't know that up front either. But that's why I said it's a trap card, right?
Now, here's the thing though, because what his body is mostly made out of, like I'm talking about Rimuru, like how it's structured and how like Devour actually works. It's works based on his the magicules, right? So they're basically like magic molecules, basically, right? So
Yep.
do you think that, because you're talking about now which universe are we in, would that actually destroy magicals?
Only if somebody went to a to a sub pocket dimension within him.
He can. It depends.
It does, yeah.
It depends. It depends on how he's going about it. So I will say this. Okay, I will say this. So this is more science versus more anything to do with which reality they're in. Because typically what we can all agree on is most of the time science still works in anime. Regular science still works in anime. So this isn't like dependent on the universe, because this is stuff that's in outer space. Antimatter is in outer space. It's not something that's normally on Earth. Okay, no matter what parallel world we go to. So this is stuff that's in space. That's what I'm saying. So it wouldn't matter. Now, the question you should be asking is,
no, don't try to fight in my battle for me, because there's two more
hold on,
points that I got to make.
Yeah, okay. Hold on. Just hold on to what I'm saying. Like, now the question comes down to, do I think magic can stop antimatter? Now that part, listen, I'm straight up honest with you. I don't know. Okay. I'm just talking about from the perspective of antimatter in his body. Okay. If you devour, I can't 100% say your magicules gonna save your life. Now go ahead and hit your next point. That's all I was gonna say. I don't know.
Okay. I'm not gonna play my trump card yet, like the actual guarantee killer that's gonna win me this easily. Okay. So the fact of the matter is this: because we're gonna be real about this, right? With the analyzation of the great sage, she should be able to tell me the weakness of water that he has, and water doesn't kill him; it just slows him down. So that Mach 20 goes to less than Mach 5 normally when he has too much water, and we saw that, right? Well, for a being like Rimuru, it wouldn't be too hard for him to actually come up with a fusion technique that literally, just like the droplets, right? Just like the whole droplet net that he used against the humans, to use something like that to I want to say, catch off guard, right? Catch off guard Koro Sensei and try to fill his body as much as possible up with water from all sides as much as possible. Because you got to remember, Rimuru is still not slow. Yes, he's not going Mach 20, but he's still not slow. He's still going supersonic here, right? So if he can catch him,
wrapping it up.
what'd you say, Pooh Bear? Oh, know what? Trump card. Trump card right here, man. Okay. We might get canceled for this one. Okay. So his biggest weakness, Koro Sensei's biggest weakness, and Rimuru actually does do body transformations, sir. All he has to do is do one of those Naruto, you know what I'm saying, sexy jutsus, brother. And Koro Sensei is gonna be stunned, one hit window right in the heart.
In a life or death situation, he's gonna know to do that. Nah, man. You gonna use sexy jutsu? You gonna use sexy jutsu to say you gonna win? Nah, bruh. Bruh.
Sexy jutsu.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to Pooh Bear. Pooh Bear, tell me what your thoughts are, man. What are your thoughts? Go ahead, give me your. Since he gonna hit me with that.
I thought both sides brought up some real good philosophical thesis. I think you guys defended both your characters well, which leads me to say, hey, watchers, viewers, go ahead and put your bets down. Who's the winner? Okay, we're gonna put this up to the people to decide. Yeah, it was that good.
All right, listen. It's a tough battle, right? You know, I got an uphill battle to climb, but that's okay though, because we're gonna work with the best. But I'm gonna still believe my antimatter, type, is the trump card against, Captain. I'm gonna be a god, basically. You know what I'm saying? I can't be losing no dude in no bathrobe, man. So if you believe in me, go ahead and put the one in the chat. Tell Mr. Conspiracy he can go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You can go and tell him to go somewhere with his bathrobe.
Put the 2 for sexy jutsu. And the real fans know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that. We're gonna make this happen.
Vote for Pooh Bear, baby. Yeah. The real winner.
Vote for Pooh Bear. Wow. Well,
oh my goodness.
We need y'all to tune in next week. Fridays is the live show day these days, 7 o'clock. CST, be available. Like, subscribe, comment, buy the merch if it's there. The link should be there at a certain point in time if we ain't got it there yet. I blame Pooh Bear and the dude in the bathrobe. So, if it ain't there, shout out to them folks.
One day this dude gonna have a bathrobe of his own with an anime character. It's cool though.
Stay anime, my watchers.
Bam, baby. Mr. Conspiracy. We out.
That was a